So this shade for sure is a good match for me. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Danish, if you're listening, heya! This is for you because you've asked me for foundation review and foundation tutorial videos. I have more coming up as well, so keep an eye out, they're coming. Today I have a very exciting video. I'm going to be reviewing for you Dior's Forever Skin Glow Foundation. I've been meaning to try this out for some time. I have heard good reviews, but I took the plunge and ordered this shade from Sephora. Now, this was during lockdown, so I used Sephora's shade finder and it suggested 3W0, which is 3 warm olive. Now, I've been playing around with this foundation for a week and a half. I've worn it at least 5 times. I wanted to make sure this is not a first impression video, that I can actually give you my full thoughts around this product and what I think of it. After all, this is an expensive foundation, so we'll get into the review straight away. When you have a look at my skin, most brown people will probably be able to relate to this. You don't have just one consistent color all over your face. So, you know, my forehead is a little bit darker, around my mouth is definitely a lot darker, my cheeks lighter, my neck is a little bit darker than my face, so the colors are quite inconsistent. So when I shade match, it's not so easy. The thing that I've found to be most helpful is if I actually shade match using my chest, because my chest area is more consistent in terms of color, right? So that's exactly what I'm going to do. So I'm going to show you the Dior foundation, and oh, that came out too much, but let's see how this looks like on my chest. On my chest, this is what this shade looks like. Now if I try and blend this out a little bit, just on the edges here, you'll see that actually it blends in quite nicely. So this shade for sure is a good match for me. Now if I do the same with my Smashbox foundation that I use all the time, this is in the shade 3.15. Let's see what this looks like. Now both these foundations do have a different undertone, so they will look different. So I'm just gonna pop this right here. So you can see straight away how much more warmer this shade is. If I try and blend it out, you can actually see this sitting on top of my skin, whereas this kind of blends in. So I know for me, going with this tone is a closer match to my skin than going with this. Also, the Smashbox 3.15 has a neutral undertone. It's not quite yellow, whereas this one has olive undertones. So for me, with yellow undertones, olive undertones work for me really well. Ideally, I would want a foundation with yellow undertones, but that can surprisingly be very hard to find. So often I go with olive tones because they just work so much better on my skin. So this shade for me worked really well when I was a little bit tan. So in fall, when I'm coming from summer, a lot of my tan has gone off, but I still have some color left, then this shade for me was perfect. However, now in New Zealand, I'm in winter, which means all my tan is pretty much gone. So this shade for me is a much better match. Okay, so I've got my color corrector on and let's get into it. By the way, did you guys see Wayne Goss's new collection? Lipsticks, lip glosses and lip liners. So when I first saw that he was launching lipsticks, I was so excited. Oh my god, I've been watching Wayne Goss for such a long time. And then I saw the swatches. I mean, there were no swatches for medium skin tones. That was really disappointing. I couldn't figure out what shades to get. So by the time it launched, I didn't know what shades would look good on me, because most of the swatches were done on people with lighter skin tones, and the ones on the website, on Beautylicious website, were on people with hands that had light skin tone and a deep skin tone. There was nothing for medium skin tones, and that really put me off because I had no idea what was going to look good on me. There was one lip gloss shade called Petunia, I believe, and that one I think would look good on medium skin tones, but I couldn't get my hands on it. It got sold out. And there's a lip liner called Sepia that I'm interested in trying, but again, to do a Beautylish order for just a lip liner, pass. So I'm hoping he will release more shades in the future that will be more brown skin friendly, because I think most of the shades that I saw were really targeted towards lighter skin tones, but we shall find out. So I've got this on my face now, and now I'm gonna blend out my forehead first, because for me that really is the most troubled area. My forehead is where I get dry patches. See, at the moment my dry patch is actually not that bad. It's still there. I don't know if you can see right here, the foundation has settled a little bit on my dry patch. Just a little bit, it's not too much. It doesn't bother me because, to be honest, most foundations settle on my dry patch on my forehead, so I don't discount the foundation for that. But for the rest of my face, it actually glides on pretty smoothly. Like, I don't have trouble blending this out. And you'll probably be able to see that this is actually quite a good shade for me. It is much better than my Smashbox 3.15. I do want to give a go for Smashbox 3.05. I believe that's another shade that could work for me. So this is pretty much a light layer of the foundation blended out, and this is generally how much foundation I will wear. So for me, foundation is really just about enhancing the skin, and I do like my skin to show through, so I generally will do a light layer. For the purposes of this video, let's just build up a little bit more. I love this brush. Oh my god, if you guys get a chance to buy this, it is expensive, but wow, this brush, since I got it, I have not been able to put it down. It is beautiful foundation application, and it's synthetic. All right, foundation is on. So I'm just gonna go pop the rest of my makeup on, and then I'll be right back with you. Hey guys, just a quick note while I'm doing my makeup is that the foundation has set. I haven't put any powder on my face. I've only got powder for my concealer under my eyes, but the foundation looks really good. So once you give it a minute, it actually sets down, and it's not tacky. It's got actually a sort of a velvety, soft texture, which is really nice. And the finish that I'm getting right now from this foundation is like a very soft, semi-matte finish. It's not fully matte and it's not fully dewy. It's somewhere in between, and I really like that. Back with a full face. I am so digging this look. I mean, the dark burgundy smoky eye, and I think the lip color looks amazing. I'll pop it in the description below what I'm wearing on my lips. What do you guys think? Do you guys want me to do a tutorial on this look? Let me know. So the foundation looks beautiful. I'm not wearing a setting spray, so I've just got my foundation on with some powder and the rest of my makeup on. I'm also not wearing a primer underneath, just so we can see exactly how long this foundation lasts. I'm going to come in closer just so you can see what the foundation looks like. It looks great. I am enjoying this shade, and I think the foundation looks very smoothing. Now, I do have combination skin. I've got normal skin around the perimeter of my face, and then I've got an oily T-zone. So I tend to get oily here and just across here. My nose actually is okay. I don't get too much oil on my nose, but the problem areas for me are really the forehead and the cheeks. So I am expecting that I will get shinier throughout the day. I will check in with you guys after a few hours to show you what the foundation looks like, and then I'm going to wait for a full 8 hours and show you at the end how this wears. Hey guys, I'm back. It has been 5.5 hours, and I just want to show you what this foundation looks like. Absolutely, you can see the shine on my face, and that's because I'm oily. My forehead is not too bad, but it's definitely oily. And then I've got my cheeks which you'll be able to see are very shiny. Now, I did use a lot of foundation today to see how much this product could build up. Generally, I wouldn't be using this much foundation, so I don't get this much shine. Coming in a little bit closer so you can see what the foundation looks like. Other than the shiny bits, the foundation is on. It's pretty solid. It hasn't really moved. It really hasn't settled into my fine lines around my mouth, just a little bit, but it's really not a big deal. So in a normal day, I wouldn't stay like this. I would either powder my T-zone, or I would use a tissue paper to dab at the oily area. So that's exactly what I'm going to do, is just going to, now I haven't dabbed before. This is after 5.5 hours. And that already looks so much better. So that's there. And that's that. And still the foundation looks great. And honestly, there isn't a lot of product that came off just when I used the tissue paper. So that's great. Very happy with this. It's been 9 hours. So I've had this foundation on the whole day and this is what it looks like. It is absolutely still on my face. So throughout this whole day, I didn't apply any powder. I only blotted my face that one time in front of the camera with you guys. Now I'm just going to blot some again. And you can see it's still a little bit shiny, which is normal. I mean, it's been 4 hours since the last time I blotted my face. So that's understandable. Now, just blotting my face, you can see this foundation is still on. Yes, it's faded a little bit, but it's really minimal. It actually still looks really good. So I'm really happy with this foundation. In terms of long wear, I agree, this wears really well. It actually wears better than my Smashbox foundation, which I love. So I'll come in a bit closer so you can see what my skin looks like now after 9 hours. It's pretty good. Okay, so just a few thoughts in terms of this foundations. I have worn this now 6th time. Today was the 6th time and I have been loving it. My preferred way of wearing this foundation is light to medium coverage. When I tried to build today a heavier coverage, the foundation doesn't actually look as good. When you build it up to a medium coverage, it looks beautiful. It meshes well with the skin. It does give you that radiant glow. If you try and build it up to full coverage, I think it will look just a little bit cakey. It still looks great, but I personally prefer using it as a light to medium coverage. The color match is really important and this is perfect for me in this range. So I suggest if you guys can, absolutely try it out. If you can actually go in store and get a sample, that's even better. Oftentimes you really need to try a foundation out a few times to figure out if it's really going to work for you. Just trying it once doesn't really do it. Now, just a quick note, I did try this foundation on top of my regular SPF and it didn't sit as well. So I'm a bit disappointed by that. I will try and find a sunscreen that this foundation will play well with, but without SPF, it does a really good job meshing in with the skin. With FPF, oh my God, I can't talk anymore. It's been a long day. With SPF, it kind of just sits on top of the skin just a little bit. It still looks pretty, I think, but it doesn't look its best. So that's just something to note. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. More foundation videos are coming up, so if you want to know when I upload those, please don't forget to hit that bell when you subscribe. See ya!